Afternoon, everybody. It is a great day. I'm going to speak, but not too loudly because I believe nap time is going on down the hall here. So although I'm very excited and happy to be here, I'll try to contain my enthusiasm because otherwise these teachers and caregivers are going to come down here and get me. So I want to thank Franklin County Administrator Ken Wilson, the County Commissioners, Council President Hardin, Councilmember Bankston, Giselle, Pierre, Louis, who just kind of gave us a breakdown, she and her partner Molly, of kind of the history of the center and the great partnerships we've had here and the critical need for us to invest in early childhood, in childcare, now more than ever for a whole variety of reasons. First and foremost, because we want our young people enter kindergarten ready and to take off once they start school, but also for their moms and dads who we desperately need in the workforce to continue to grow our economy and lift up those families in our neighborhoods. As a recipient of the previous round of small business funding, Giselle and her team exemplify the ways in which these funds can help our city's wonderful entrepreneurs. Additionally, they're working every day to ensure that more of our children are prepared to thrive in kindergarten and beyond, and that they're well cared for while their parents, particularly working moms. We were just talking about this statistic, and Haley and I have talked about this before. 1.8 million women left the workforce that have not come back since the beginning of COVID, and the number one challenge and barrier is childcare. So now more than ever, the importance for us to invest. Today, we're delighted to announce the next round of funding. The City of Columbus, Franklin County together are committing $8 million in federal recovery dollars for small business assistance. My thanks to City Council and to the commissioners for their support. For those around this community and communities around the country who question what rescue plan dollars are going for and what they're doing, this is a perfect example of investing in our parents, our children, our neighborhoods, our local economy right here in Columbus, and that's what this is all about. This funding will assist vulnerable businesses and their employees as we all move beyond the pandemic, while still addressing the hardships and setbacks that our community has endured. And although this program offers assistance for all small businesses, funding decisions will prioritize businesses located in underserved communities, as well as minority, women, and veteran entrepreneurs. So these businesses can apply for $5,000, $10,000, or $20,000 grants to keep their employees and their customers safe. And we hope hire or rehire more of our neighbors in neighborhoods just like this, in reliable, good-paying jobs. That's what this announcement is all about, empowering every resident to earn a wage that supports their household and providing every business with the resources they need to succeed. I'm grateful to the Ohio Small Business Development Center, Columbus State Community College, for managing this program, the Wells Foundation for serving as the fiduciary agent. We are so excited about this. We think this is another great example of the Columbus way. The city, the county, our other partners that are stepping up to support our families, grow our economy, and make our neighborhoods safer, healthier, and stronger. My pleasure. My pleasure to introduce our great partner in this work, our County Administrator, Ken Wilson.
Thank you, Mayor Ginther. Thank you for everyone to come out today on this cloudy day, but this announcement, we are making our sunshine. I'm Kenneth Wilson, County Administrator for the Franklin County Board of Commissioners, and on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, I'm excited to share this opportunity with you today. We all have endured difficulties over the last 2 years. We've seen loved ones lose jobs, struggle financially, and we watch business struggle while seeing others close. However, we believe today marks the day when small business can begin to heal and experience growth once again. We believe that this collaborative and cooperative effort between Franklin County and the City of Columbus will give businesses such as this one the boost that allows that healing process to begin. As the mayor stated, our combined $8 million will go a long way. This Friday is the 1-year anniversary of President Biden signing the American Rescue Plan Act, passed by Congress, into law. So it is fitting that we're starting off the week talking about yet another example of ARP funds working for the residents of Franklin County. These funds were allocated directly to local governments like Franklin County, and they have helped us respond to and recover from the health and economic impacts of COVID-19. The flexibility of this funding has allowed us to stack hands and tailor our response to our community needs, such as this grant program for small business in Franklin County. One of the goals of these grants is to assist businesses who have been historically overlooked. These grants are prioritized for businesses that are located in underserved communities and or are minority, women, or veteran-owned. We did that for a reason. The vast majority of these minority and veteran-owned businesses never received adequate help during the pandemic. For example, in 2020, the federal government offered a paycheck protection program for businesses. However, only 3% of the $3 trillion awarded to Ohio businesses went to assist minority-owned business, a mere 3%. And unfortunately, these statistics did not improve as the pandemic raged on throughout 2021. Another benefit of the program is that we know it works. Franklin County and the City of Columbus offered this very same grant in 2020. At that time, we offered roughly $2.2 million in grants with the help of Rev 1 Ventures, who administered the grant program. We helped save nearly 250 different businesses with this money. Small businesses of all types received grants. Award winners included owners of all races, veterans from different branches of the military service, and individuals who refused to be limited by disabilities. And award winners were truly small businesses. Most had 5 or fewer employees. I repeat, most had 5 or fewer employees. Another benefit of this program is that it helps more small business become winners. These grants will benefit Franklin County's local economy. Small business account for 45% of United States economic activity. It goes to show small businesses are not just simply mom and pop operations, as they are sometimes called. They are the backbone of our community and the U.S. economy. Financial indicators show that the economy is improving. Not only do we want to see this trend continue, but we also want to ensure that businesses of all sizes survive the pandemic to compete in a thriving economy once more here in Franklin County and the City of Columbus. So we are, as a county, glad to be able to use the American Rescue Plan dollars to help small businesses. Like I was saying, daycare centers benefit the economy in so many ways. You can't return to work if you don't have a safe and secure place to leave your child. So I'm saying to all small business, particularly daycare and early childhood learning centers, we got your back to the extent we can. So I would like, again, thank you for having me here to talk about this exciting initiative. I will now introduce the President of Columbus City Council, Shannon Hartman.
Guys, I think we should be using our air claps. I was going to say we needed to give a round of an air clap to Mayor Ginther and to County Administrator for using the best inside voice at their disposal. It's harder for me now. I'm trying to keep my voice down. No, it's really good to be here. To Mayor, to County Administrator, to Ms. Pierre Louis, to Ms. Molly. and to all those who have gathered with us, to my colleague and the chair of the Small and Minority Business Committee on Council, Councilmember Bankston. I previously chaired the Small and Minority Business Committee up until just this past January, and the grant program that we're announcing today was one of my top priorities last year. Council passed more than $4 million to seed this fund with partnership from the county, and after diligent work by the Department of Development and partners, we are here to announce the start of the small business program and that we have more options for them today. I want to encourage folks to go to www.smallbusinessrecoverygrant.com and apply for your business to see if they're eligible for these dollars. And I think one of the most important things about this program is kind of what County Administrator hit on was he took us back to the early days of the pandemic when the PPP came through town and came through the country. He's 100% correct. We all saw the stories of the folks who were getting the resources and the folks that were not getting the resources. But we also know that on average, African American business owners had a 10-day gap. If they had 10 days worth of on-hand revenue until they would then have to go under, close their doors, shutter their doors, and go out of business. So when we came together as a city and a county, we were very, very intentional in making sure that we were closing those gaps and filling those holes where folks were being left out. And this was the result. Nearly 1,000 businesses received funding from the Small Business Grant last time. Of that, 80% of our grants went to business owners of color, 80%. 69% of those grants went to Black business owners. These numbers are unheard of when we're talking about getting direct dollars to the folks that were most vulnerable to the pandemic and their impacts on their business and to the outcomes in which we were looking forward to. So very excited about this program, that we're doubling down on this, working with culturally competent organizations that know how to engage with small and minority businesses to get the dollars in the hands of those who need it most. So just grateful for everyone who has stacked hands to make this program work. We are excited that the resources are once again available because even though we are transitioning to the next stage of this pandemic to endemic, we know that the issues associated with them have long-lasting effects. And we as a community, a city, a county, and thanks to the leadership of President Biden, Congresswoman Beatty, Senator Brown, the resources are here to continue to support our small businesses. And so let me introduce the new chair of the Small and Minority Business Committee, who has had an impact on this program and certainly many more to come, my friend, Chair Nick Bankston.
All right, good afternoon, and thank you, Council President Harden. As my colleagues up here know, I'm a recovering minister, so I'm gonna really try to keep my voice down. But I just want to echo the same thanks that have already been given to the Mayor, Council President, for your continued leadership in this small and minority business space, to our partners at the county and all the county commissioners, as well as our host today, and also want to send a special thank you to Director Stevens and all the great folks at the Department of Development that I get to work with every single day. As Council President Harden mentioned, today I stand before you as your newly elected council member, but also the chair of the Small and Minority Business Committee. And I think for me, it's exciting and fitting that I also chair economic development. And I think it's clear to point out that when we invest in small businesses, that is investing in economic development and the well-being of our city. Under my leadership as chair, I am striving to ensure that the work that we do for small businesses in the city falls within the following goals: that it's sustainable, that we are communication and access, and that timely and community response. And so I think that it's fitting that this funding and that this program promotes really all three of those strategies. It is our goal that we have a city that has a strong pipeline of communication with the small and minority businesses. And I want to have a city that promotes the success of our small businesses at all stages of their business life cycle through sustainable programs resulting from a proactive small business strategy. And last but not least, a city that is responsive to the diverse and ever-changing needs of the small and minority business community. And so today, this $8 million is, again, an example of these three goals of making sure that we are creating a small business environment that fosters the success and supports our small business owners when and how and whomever they need it. And as a city, we applaud companies like Intel and Hyperion, and we talk about all the large companies that are coming to our community, and we are great to see that energy. But as the administrator said, the backbone of our communities are small and minority businesses. The shops that we go in every single day, that coffee shop at the end of your block, this great facility that we are in today, organizations that are employing less than 5 people a day are really the backbones of our communities. And it is our goal to make sure that we shore them up, but also to make sure that they don't just simply survive, but they are put in position to thrive and to continue to stay sustainable in operations. So I'm excited about this program. Please make sure you take advantage of this opportunity, and there will be many opportunities coming down the road as we continue to fight back out of this pandemic. So next I want to introduce our host for today, Ms. Jerzelle Pierre-Louise. Come on up.
Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome Mayor Ginther, City Council President Hardin, Councilman Bankston, Ken Wilson, and our guest. I am Jerzelle Pierre-Louise, the owner of Bloom Early Education Center and Sprout Early Education Center. Sprout was a recipient of the Columbus-Franklin County COVID-19 Small Business Response and Recovery Grant. Sprout has been caring for children in our community for the past 9 years. We serve children from 6 weeks to 5 years of age. Our kids are truly a cross-section of Columbus's diversity and what makes Columbus great. Upon graduation from Sprout, our kids attend our community public schools, parochial schools, and independent schools. The Small Business Recovery Grant for us was life-changing, especially during the height of the pandemic. We were able to provide PPE for our staff and our children, paid our employees for extended hours, but more so than anything, we didn't have to lay anyone off. As a small business, I'm proud to say that we employ 20 City of Columbus and Franklin County residents, whom the majority are women. We have all come to appreciate how vital early childhood education and childcare is. So I commend our city leaders, our county leaders, for really stressing small businesses and early childhood education. I thank you for coming out today, and I implore you to implore your businesses, your friends, to support our early education endeavors. Thank you. Mayor Ginther.
Thank you so much, Jerzelle, for your commitment to children and families in this community. We're grateful for your leadership, your resilience. 20 employees here, almost all women. So it's not just those women that are being impacted, clearly these young people, but thinks about the moms and the dads that are able to go back to work and support their families and grow in their career because of this exceptional small businesses. We know that they make up 90%. Think about that. Small businesses like this make up 98% of the businesses in this city. And each and every one of them is vital to our collective well-being and our region as we continue to recover, rebuild, and ascend to new heights. Those interested in applying for a small business grant are encouraged to visit smallbusinessrecoverygrant.com to learn more and submit an application. The deadline for this round of funding is Friday, March 18th. Friday, March 18th. So get on it. But there'll be additional rounds between now and September. And we'll continue to work with our county, state, and federal partners to expand prosperity, and close the equity gap throughout Columbus and Central Ohio. A great day for Wyland Park, for this neighborhood, our city, our county, our region. Giselle, thanks again for you and your team hosting us here. We'd be happy to answer any questions from the press. No shouting, though.
Mayor Gunther, the Arnold Classic, there's multiple people, not wearing masks, potentially violating Ordinance 2388. Are you going to call out Arnold Schwarzenegger for, subverting the mask ordinance?
Well, obviously, the ordinance and the executive order are in place for everybody, and I would encourage anybody and everybody in our city until that executive order is rescinded and the ordinance is repealed, both of which are set to take place today, to follow and obey the ordinances and executive order inside the city of Columbus.
How many people have been fined for not following the ordinance?
I don't know. We can check with you and get you that.
Is it zero?
I don't think so, but
I mean, at the Arnold.
yeah, I'd be happy to.
Cool, I just want to make sure that the law is actually, the law and not just.
Be happy to have Robin Davis with the
Great.
mayor's office get you that information.
Mayor,
Yeah.
so I know you obviously are focusing
Yep.
on childcare in the press conference, but is it open to any industry, or is there any specified eligibility for businesses to come on?
Just small businesses and particular focus on minority, female-owned, and veteran-owned businesses. Is that right, Administrator? But it isn't exclusive to childcare. But we're a little biased because we think that childcare is so important. You have a couple of current customers of early childhood education here. I'm a little bit beyond that, but I understand how important it is, particularly for our moms and dads.
Is it 4 million from the county and 4 from the city?
I think that's correct. Is that right, Administrator?
Yes, that's the amount that will go in grants.
Yes. Yes.
Angela Barnes, the Greater Southeast Area Commission. Two things. One, oftentimes I heard them say that they were looking at specific geographical locations that were more in need than others. Oftentimes our suburban areas are more in need than others because we have done a lot of diversification in a lot of our neighborhoods where a lot of the owners are now living in these areas. So I also am a small business owner. I'm a licensed electrician. I only have about 3 electricians working for me.
Great.
And I also work a full-time job. But I've applied for this money twice and been declined because I didn't put myself in a status of female-owned, black-owned business by doing all of the governmental documentation. Is that a requirement to be able to get this money? Because as you can see, I am a black female. But I've really not wanted to categorize myself that way, although I've been told that that's the best way for me to get money. But I don't see my white male partner having to do that. So I would just like to know, do I have to do that to get this money?
It isn't a requirement, but I encourage all businesses that are eligible to become certified with the city and with the county. It gives incredible opportunities. Our staff, we have staff here from the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. Would you just raise your hand? So the staff that can help with that, we helped, I think 10,000 folks with PPP during the pandemic, and staff that rolled up their sleeves, got in there right with employers to take advantage of it. These are your resources. These resources belong to the community. They're just entrusted to us to make sure that we're making them available. But it isn't a requirement, but I think there's so many more additional opportunities if you become certified with the city and the county.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Quick question. Is it a requirement that your business has to have been established prior to the pandemic?
I think so. It wouldn't be a new business, correct? A new
It would
business.
be a business that was in operation during the pandemic that actually have been impacted.
Yeah.
It was established prior to the pandemic. However, due to the pandemic, it didn't do well. Because I have a business that was established prior to the pandemic, but because I didn't earn income that year, I was declined twice for
Mark, would that be eligible? Any of our folks from development? Yeah. Yeah. We've got a couple of different folks that can help to answer those questions.
You had mentioned that there's going to be additional rounds. Is it the first round that closes on March 18th, is that $8 million, or are there multiple rounds that will add up to $8 million?
Multiple rounds that will add up to the $8 million. Kenneth Wilson, County Administrator, there'll be multiple rounds that will add up to the $8 million.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Thanks again, Giselle.
Thank you. Thank you.